Hi yogis, we are on day 9 of our 10-day yoga challenge, and today I'm going to be introducing a couple balancing postures for you. Now these are balancing postures mainly standing up on our feet. Balance is an extremely important part of our practice, and I'm so excited to teach you about it. So let's go. Okay, balancing postures, they really help us to gain focus. And it's a little bit difficult to balance while strengthening the muscles and everything. And sometimes while we're breathing through this, we're also strengthening our mind and our emotions, which can help us to deal with difficult situations we might come across in our lives as well. So there's endless amounts of benefits here rather than just physical. Now I want to give you 3 pointers before we move into our balancing postures section today. Number 1, take your time. So whatever we're going to do here today, if you need to press pause, I just want you to make sure that you're not rushing into the pose, because if you rush into the pose and you're not prepared, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to gain your balance. Number 2, breathe. Breathe through the entire pose, in and out of the nose, focusing on your breath, which will help you with my number 3 tip, which is to calm your thoughts, using the breath to help calm the mind. And finally, number 4, it's what we call a drishti in yoga. We use a focal point while doing most balancing postures. So if you're balancing on something, you want to focus your attention on an item that's not moving. This is what's called a drishti. It's a focal point. That's your gazeless gaze. And that's really going to help you to maintain balance as well. Now that I've given you all my tips, let's get balanced. First, I want to start in a cow pose. I want to really get into the spine, help with that flexibility, the mobility. Let's take a couple cat-cows. Inhale, lift the hips and the chin, broaden the chest. Exhale, cat pose, arch the back, chin to chest. Let's take one more full round. Inhale to cow. Exhale, press the mat away to cat. Bring it back through a neutral spine. Go ahead, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, coming back to down dog. Give the feet a nice pedal here, pressing one heel down, bending the opposite knee and switching sides. And we can go from side to side once more. Good, bring it back through center. Take an inhale and step that right foot through between the hands. Keeping the fingers down on the mat, stay on the ball of the back foot. We're coming into that crescent warrior standing posture that we learned at the beginning. Inhale, stretch the arms up high. So really activating the quadriceps here. We're going to come into a balancing pose right away. So make sure that you lift the right toes up. Go ahead and spread them out nice and wide and place them back down onto the mat, creating a nice grip with the foot. Stretch through the hands, and then we're going to shift our weight into the right leg. We can kind of drag that left foot back behind us and then begin to lift that left knee up in front. Now this is called majorette pose. Make sure you're tightening the tummy down here, helping to balance. And this is the time when you want to find that focal point. So somewhere straight out in front of you, just begin to stare and breathe. Beautiful. Lower the palms to heart center and drop the left foot back down by the right. You can shake the feet out a bit, and we're going to come into airplane pose next. Another balancing posture. Make sure that the right foot is grounded down into the mat, palms at heart center. We're going to do something that looks like a pendulum with the body. So as the front portion of the body bends forward, the back leg lifts. We can begin to lean forward, putting the weight into the right foot as that left heel lifts off the mat. We begin to continue leaning forward. Lower belly tightens, and when you feel like you can balance, just stop right where you are. You don't have to go into the full expression of the pose right away. Gazing at your focal point. Breathe. And if you fall in and out of it, that's completely fine. Just work your way back into the pose if possible. And if you can, bring the arms out to a T, out to the sides. If not, no big deal. Good. Bring the fingertips down to the mat and step that left foot all the way down. We're going to do the same pose that we learned yesterday, that pyramid fold, both legs straight and the toes facing forward. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward over that front leg. Now, believe it or not, this is actually a balancing posture as well. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip presses forward, inner thighs squeeze together. All right, now from here, go ahead and step the feet together. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in, folding over your knees. Take an inhale, stand up tall, arms sweep high. Exhale, lower the palms to heart center. Good, take an inhale, circle the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to the shins, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms down, take it back into plank pose. Lower the knees, coming into what we called chaturanga, lower down into the push-up. Inhale, press up, upward facing dog, roll to the tops of the feet. Feeling that nice back bend. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Let's check out this other side and see what our balancing skills are here. Step the left foot through between the hands. Adjust the stance, but make sure you stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, circle the arms high, crescent warrior. This is our high lunge version, crescent warrior. Take one breath here. Begin to shift the weight into that left leg as you stand tall and lift the right knee up in front of you. So it creates this nice little tabletop out in front. Foot will be flexed and you can lower the palms to heart center. Find that drishti, that focal point, heighten the lower belly and take a breath. Beautiful work. Drop the right foot back down by the left. Give the legs a nice shake. Good. Moving on to our airplane. Make sure you're nice and stable on the left foot this time. Begin to lift that right foot up off the mat, heel flexed, and lower forward with the chest, with the upper body coming into airplane pose. So as you deepen forward, that back leg lifts higher, pendulum style. Lower belly tightens, make sure the hips are squared down and find that focal point. Breathe into it. If you fall out of it, no big deal. Just have fun with it. And maybe even feel that you can extend the arms all the way out to the sides. Big open T. Taking flight like a bird. Good job. Drop the fingertips to the mat and step that right foot up. So if you need to shorten the stance here, you can always step the right foot forward a bit more. Make sure both toes are facing forward and the legs are straight. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the front leg. You're doing so great so far. Balancing postures are a very difficult part of our yoga practice. Go ahead and step the right foot up to meet the left. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in all the way, Uttanasana. Inhale, standing tall, reaching the arms high, and then exhaling the palms to heart center. I want to teach you another fun balancing pose here. We're going to learn tree pose today. So go ahead and face the middle edge of the mat, and we'll start on the right side. We can bring the left hand to the hip, and bend the knees slightly. Lift the right foot up. Bring the sole of the foot to the inner side of the left thigh. Now, you don't have to start it off very high at first. Start it low and see how you do from there. So even if you want to bring it into the inner side of the knee here, and you place it right there, press the tailbone down, tuck it under, and then you want to squeeze the left thigh right here into this right foot, okay? So really root and ground down into the left foot, and then lift that foot in towards the inner thigh or inner side of the knee. And once you feel stable, you can bring the other hand to the hip, tighten the lower belly, maybe bring the palms to heart center. Make sure you're breathing and you're finding your focal point. And if you're stable, you can even reach the arms all the way up and lift the gaze. However, that is a pretty advanced variation of the posture. Drop the foot back down by the left. You can bend the knees and then stand back up tall. Good. Give the feet a nice little shake before we try it around on the other side. This is quite a difficult posture as well, so be completely easy on yourself. These are brand new poses, and like I said, balancing poses can be really tough. Go ahead and start on this side. Bring the right hand to the hip, bend the knees, and lift the left foot up, positioning it wherever you see fit. And you can hold it right here until you get yourself nice and stable. Tighten that lower belly. Really squeeze the right inner thigh towards the left sole of the foot. It's like an activation. And then you can work to either bring the hands to the hips, palms to heart center, or leave them right where they are. And if you'd like, you can even go to a wall, grab a chair, and whatever you need to stay stable and balanced. And if you'd like to reach the hands up, if you have a chair, go ahead and try to lift one hand up. Beautiful work. Bring the palms back to heart center. Drop the left foot down. Bend the knees and stand tall. Let's go ahead and lower back down. We've already taken boat pose before in our core work section. And believe it or not, boat pose is actually a balancing posture. We are balancing on the lower sit bone, lower tailbone area, and it takes a lot of core work. So we're gonna go through it one more time, see if we can hold it for about 5 or 6 seconds. This time, let's see, we can gauge once the legs are lifted and the arms are lifted. You can either keep the legs right here, keep them bent, maybe grab onto the backs, or you can even begin to try and straighten them. For 5, 4, 3, breathe into it, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest and drop the forehead down towards the knees. Beautiful job coming into a seated position. Great work today. We've got it through the balancing posture section, and we only have one more day left of this challenge. I cannot believe we've already come to this point. So I will see you for day 10. I am super excited. If you enjoyed this content, as always, tap that like button. Make sure to hit subscribe, share this challenge with anybody you think might benefit. And yeah, namaste, my friends. Peace.